So this is number 10, the last question of the assignment, and we were buying some apples. We're buying the Granny Smith apples, and we're buying the Gala apples. Unfortunately, they both start with the letter G. That's terrible. So I'm going to go ahead and say that G is the number, not number, but number with the letter N, of the Gala apples. Gala apples. And shoot, I guess I'll use S. S is the number of the Granny Smith apples. So I'm picking variables that I hope make sense to me, right? Now there's two things that are going on here. One of them is the quantity of apples, and one relates their cost, right? If I add up the if I do this and I open the bag and I count the apples, how many apples are in the bag? There's 19, right? I open the bag up and I can't even see them. I don't know if it's a Granny Smith or a Gala, right? I'm blind. But I can feel it. There's 19 apples here, right? That's the first fact that they give me. If I take the number of Gala apples plus the Granny Smith apples, I get that there's 19 apples in the bag. The other equation that I have relates their cost, right? Each of the Granny Smith apples cost 25 cents, and each of the Gala apples cost 30 cents. So I'm going to write 30 cents, 0.30 for each of the Gala apples, plus 0.25 for each of the Granny Smith apples, and that equals $5.10. Okay, now you've seen me afraid of fractions. You see me work to get rid of fractions, right? Multiply both sides by the least common multiple of the denominators to get rid of fractions. I do the same thing when I see decimals like this, right? I'm going to eliminate these fractions. Well, they're not fractions, they're decimals, but it's the same thing, right? They're parts of things. So I am going to multiply both sides of the second equation by 100. Do you have to do this? No. Does it make it easier to deal with it? I think so, right? Now, when I choose to do that, this equation, it's not going to go away, but it becomes the following. This equation is now 30G plus 25S equals 510. By the way, do you see this? S is not a great variable, okay? A lot of times I see you guys write your 5s, they look like S's. I'm trying to model the fact that I'm trying to distinguish between the letter S and the letter and the number 25 by kind of trying to distinguish them, okay? So be aware of symbols that look the same and that you might mix up. The other equation I'll just rewrite, right? It's going to be G plus S equals 19. Now, there's really no benefit here. I could go either way in terms of canceling. Oops, I want to move this out of the way. Either way here, I could either get it set up so that my G eliminates or the S eliminates, right? And I don't care which way we go. Someone pick. Okay, we'll make G's go away. In order to accomplish that, what are we going to multiply both sides of the first equation by, Ian? Okay, that's twice today. One more time and you're toast. No. Yeah, negative 30. Not 3, negative 30. And when I do that, this first equation, you guys have some calculators handy. This first equation becomes negative 30G plus 30 S's equals, what's negative 19 times, or 30 times negative 19? What is it? Negative 570. Okay, the other equation I'll just rewrite, right? It's positive 30G plus 25 of the S's, and that equals positive 510. Okay, so if I combine these, you can see my G's are opposite. One's positive. Yeah, I made a mistake, Courtney. What's... because I'm multiplying by negative 30. Yes, it should. Thank you, Courtney. Anyone else see something goofy I've done? Okay. If I combine my Courtney, thank you. If I combine my g's, you see they're opposites, and I get 0. Right? There's 0g left over. Instead of writing og, I'm just going to leave that gone. This becomes a negative 5s, and over here, what does that equal if I take 5? Well, I know what that is, don't you? It's 60. So this is 60. So negative 60. Thank you. So if I take both sides and I divide it by the negative 5, what do we get for s? So that means right off that I purchased 12 of the Granny Smith apples. Now, if I have 12 of the Granny Smith apples, I know it's pretty easy to figure out how many of the Gala apples I have. How many do I have? It has to be 7 because these two have to add up to a 19. So, Gala apples, 7. G. Smith apples, 12. And again, you guys can do that with the decimals there, but I think it's nowhere near as nice as just to get rid of the decimalness first. Right, that's it.